Hi, I'm Lauren.
And I'm Christina.
And this is our podcast,
Let's Chew the Fat. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the new episode of Let's Chew the Fat podcast.
I love how sometimes we do a very professional introduction. Like this time we even said the name and sometimes we just go straight into it. So today we're going to talk about FOMO, but specifically related to the experience, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, in general, but we are gonna relate it to like studying abroad and living abroad mostly.
Because we always do. That's what we do. We take topics, we connect them.
I was MIA in the last episode, if you haven't noticed. I was in Portugal. I was also sick. That is still kind of going on until now. I feel like I talked about being sick like in the last episode.
Yeah, that's why I laughed, because I was like, I feel like we just did this.
Yeah, we did. I got sick again. And so it was like pretty impossible to record long distance because especially the day we were supposed to record, we were like driving from one city to another. We also stopped in many other cities and villages, so it just didn't work out, but that episode is special anyways. And I've had a really nice time in Portugal because I completely forgot about university, about everything. I was eating a lot of great food. But like I told you, like I didn't think it's possible to not do anything for university. To like completely shut off for a week and not do anything. But I mean, to be fair, like it did work out nicely because we got 2 classes canceled. In the end, even a third one got canceled.
It was crazy.
So
insane.
It was just 2 classes which were fine to miss this time. And so it kind of worked out and we didn't even have a lot of assignments to do. And even this week got really like calm.
I mean, perfect timing because the crazy thing is like this time of the semester technically is not a good time to leave. Usually this is when like assignments pick up and everything. And
but I think I found like perfectly. A small like space in between because if you think about it, like we planned this like months ahead. Like my mom, you know, she always plans these trips ahead, and I was so nervous to like say yes to going. I'm always nervous because I don't know what's gonna happen.
No, that's
like last semester when I arrived a week late, and then like after that my mom wanted to plan a trip to Tenerife, which I did go in the end, but it was also a whole week. And when you don't even know the schedule, your classes, like
if they're gonna be mandatory, if
exactly, and you don't know any like deadlines.
Yeah.
And with the one class, with the organization class, we specifically have like from now on we'll have a presentation every single week, and so somehow I fit it into like 1 week in between. Exactly. So luckily that worked out.
Sometimes things work out.
Sometimes they do. So it was nice to escape because it is like the kind of like middle of the semester. And so I don't want to say you get burned out, but like you do want to rest from the university because you're in this routine for a couple of weeks now. And you do have also like a couple of weeks left. So it was nice to rest. It was hard to like get back into it. I'm not going to lie. Like, doing assignments, I don't know, I was in this like weird phase because remember when we would have like visits or stuff like that like in the past 2 years, like it was always hard to get back and I would cry, I would miss the people already. But this time like I was sad to tell goodbye, but it wasn't like anything crazy. Like I didn't
Isn't she coming to Madrid again?
Yes. And my sister literally came this morning. So, I mean, I'm not alone. But it was this, like, weird phase where you come back from a vacation. It's not necessarily me wanting to go back because I did miss, like, certain parts of my routine, you know, and you guys. So, it wasn't that. But it was just like a weird phase where I didn't want to do anything.
Fair, I'm in the same phase right now. So maybe it's just like the mid-semester, the weather, it gets dark at 6 o'clock now.
Which honestly, I love. Like, it's weird because I'm used to being productive when it's like still light outside. But
I'm not hating it. When it happened on Monday, I was kind of excited because the churro place also opened up. So it felt like first day of Christmas. It was like the 30th of October, but it felt like the first day of Christmas.
I think it is like connected to like Christmas because and the coziness, like yesterday when Be Real happened, I think it was like 8 p.m, and I was so confused in my bed, and I was like, people are gonna hate me, they're gonna call me out. But it wasn't me going to bed, it was just because I wanted to like snuggle, and I was still doing some stuff, but I just like snuggled up in my bed.
Good for you. Good for you.
And let's acknowledge today is the 1st of November. Which is crazy, but for me it means I'm gonna start the whole Christmas thing, movies, decorations.
That's great.
Aren't you?
Not
yet.
I never do that.
This is my first year too, I'm starting so early.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll see. I'm still missing summer. I'm still a little bit.
You are?
I am. In summer I'm a better person. I don't know who I am in winter. I don't recognize myself. But it's okay.
No, honestly,
I could be doing worse. I've been worse. In November, I've been worse. Okay. So far, I'm doing well.
No, I think it's just the adjustment because it like the temperatures dropped like drastically. Like it was basically a change from one day to another.
It was 30 and then it was 12.
Yeah. Which is harsh, but like I've been saying, like for me, the summer was too long. I just couldn't do it. But I remembered I was gonna be like, it's gonna be cold. I'm gonna hate it, and I don't hate it. I just have to like get used to the fact that we're cold in the apartment.
That's the main thing. Here's the thing, people. I feel like if you have heating inside your apartment, that's a whole different way of experiencing winter. If you have hot water to shower with, that's a whole different way of experiencing winter. Then I understand if you're like, oh, winter's so cozy. Okay? Here I will just be dying. I will be wrapped. I will wear layers to sleep, double layers of bedding, everything. I will shower after showering. I will freeze while showering because the water's cold. So that's a little bit of a different experience. Me personally, outside I'm liking it. Like I'm not dying. I'm liking it.
It's not as cold.
No, like I can go out with like my
vest.
Yes, thank you.
Which I love, and I forced you to buy it.
Yes. And like I'm fine. The issue is inside a little bit. Like now I'm more cold than I would be if I were outside.
Which that's good that we have like afternoon classes, because otherwise I would just go like wrapped up with in all like the jackets and sweaters, but I still want to I want to wear the quote unquote like fall fits. Like I was so excited for these outfits.
Yeah.
And but when I wake up in the morning, I'm freezing, and like I have to like wear a lot of layers. But then like in the afternoon, luckily, before I go to school, I do get a little bit warmer, and so then I wear like less warm clothes because it's like 15 degrees outside. It's not freezing.
No, not at all.
But it's because we're like closed in this apartment. The sun doesn't like shine into our windows, and we're not moving.
Yeah.
So, you know.
The only thing is they did decide to turn on the AC in the classrooms, you know, as they do.
I'm not going to complain about that anymore, because I would just go crazy.
But yeah. And then from my week, I have a follow-up to a story that we've been telling about the camera shop. Because I went again for the fifth time. I got a second picture of the moon.
Second?
In case you want one.
Oh, I thought you got one like before. I was like, when did you get a picture? No, but you got like two?
I got the picture of the moon when I went for the fourth time, and then I went back this past week. I got a second picture of the moon. He just keeps giving me the pictures of the
When
moon.
did you get a picture?
When I went with Paula last week.
Oh, you went twice. Yeah, that's why I was confused. I was like, I thought this already happened.
Oh no, I went last week, but then he didn't have time, so we just like said we told him we would come back this week.
Okay, so I was confused.
So yeah, and we interviewed him for a profile, like for a school assignment, and we kind of wanted to get to the bottom. When I say we, I mean Paula. I was just standing there. And we were hoping that maybe we would figure out what the hell was going on with the whole story that we told you guys about, like,
oh, that's
going
true.
and not being able
that
to.
That is
like,
investigation.
Right?
Did you figure it out?
Yes, a little bit. I think, because for people who didn't listen to past episodes, we kept going there. We thought he had a bunch of cameras available. There were TikToks that went viral that said he was, like, doing liquidation because, like, he was getting...
He was retiring.
Retirement. Yeah, retired. Exactly. And we would go there and he would have no cameras to sell. And it was weird. And basically, I think from what he said he bought this little space just for his collection. Like, it's not even really a store, apparently. He just said, I don't have space for this, like, at home. Like, I can't have this stuff at home. I just wanted a little space where I could put my collection. I could hang up my pictures. People could maybe, like, come and talk and whatever. But he said he retired 2 years ago. And he never bought or sold any cameras. Like, those were his words.
That's crazy.
I don't sell cameras. I never have sold cameras. When he was still working, he would fix cameras. You could bring him the cameras and he would fix them. But never sell, never anything. He then said that apparently, like, there was some miscommunication. Like, people thought, like, he was going to retire and he was going to sell all of the cameras. Like, neighbors I think it was just a whole, like, miscommunication. And then somebody made that TikTok. It went viral. People showed up. And the poor guy, he was really stressed out. He was saying, I mean, it was nice having all these people here, but it was so stressful because, like, they wanted something that I couldn't offer. Like,
oh, that makes so much sense. Because I was confused as to what's happening. Like, why is he acting like he's selling stuff when he's not? But it makes sense. It's not a store. I guess, like, the liquidación, I guess he just had some that he...
That's what we were That's what Paula said afterwards. She was like, well, maybe he had, like, 5 cameras or, like, 20 cameras that he wanted to get rid of, that he didn't care about having in his collection anymore, and he sold those. He didn't expect it to go, like... Yeah. Crazy on the level that it did. And then
Okay,
so that's a little, like, wrap up for that story. Other than that, I don't know, I was just here hanging out, you know.
Alone? You had the apartment for yourself? Yes. Because not even our landlord was there.
It was really just me myself and I. And in 1989 Taylor's version came out. We did a listening party. This time we did not kidnap people.
Thank God.
Christina left the country. But we had a lot of fun there. Yesterday, I also saw the royal family, which was a whole thing. I mean, I've never been to, like, an event. Like, the security was insane.
I can imagine.
Like, that was the main thing that really blew my mind. There were people on rooftops with guns, like, ready to shoot if something happened. I've never seen anything like that. So, yeah, that's pretty much the highlights of my week.
FOMO, fear of missing out, for people who don't know. So, what is it?
My worst enemy.
Really?
Yeah. Even on, like, small scales, like, I think that if I don't go somewhere, I will miss the most significant moment of my life. Like, if there's a family event at home, like, connected to this maybe, and I'm not there, like, say it's like a yearly tradition, because we have those, like, we have yearly dinners and everything. Well, yeah. But nothing important happened in the past 20 years. Why would this year be the one? But in my head, it's like, there's always going to be something significant that's happening. I would feel like you wouldn't have it that bad.
Well, the thing is with me, like, sometimes I feel it, but I can't, like, pinpoint why. Because I'm not thinking about it as you are, like, thinking I will miss something, like, significant. It's just, like, the thought of me not being there, but I don't know for what reason. Maybe because, like, for example, with family traditions, like, for example, this specific one where my family goes to the Christmas market in the other city, or not city, it's like, well, whatever, like a small, I guess, I don't know. And we go there every year, like we go around the markets, like see if we want to buy something. Then as kids we used to bake the like gingerbread cookies and like all these, like it has a whole like place there. There's a bunch of kids.
I think do the candle thingy?
No. No, but I think it was even for free. Like you could go there, you could bake some, you would take it home. I loved it.
How fun.
Like we always used to do that as kids, and like it smells great. Now I think they even do like some concerts there, and at the end of the night they do a whole like firework thingy.
Are you serious?
It's amazing. I love it there, and we always meet like people we know there because it's like close to where we live, and like people go there. How like fun. It's a thing. And so my family goes there every year now, and I'm missing it for the 3rd time in a row now. I'll miss it probably next year. And so I miss like traditions like that, but not because it's something significant, like that something significant would happen, but I think I just miss it because I want to be there like with my loved ones. Honestly, maybe one tiny fear I have connected to that, it's stupid because it's not going to fall apart without me, but I'm thinking like what if they stop doing it and then I come back from Spain, like I will be there the year after university and we won't do it.
Oh no, I never think about that because I would force people to do it.
Yeah,
I would be like, no,
yeah,
guys.
I think it's a stupid fear because one, it's not gonna fall apart because I'm not there, and also like if I want to go, I'm just gonna force people to go.
Exactly, especially if it's something like that, like you can easily just
but so I think,
but honestly I do have to say I have it more like in my day-to-day life, just like on a small scale here, than I do like connected to home. I thought it would be way worse, but like say like we have like a friend group that's like 3 of us. If the 2 of them hang out, I don't really.
For me, I did have to like used to get to the idea because I also have like a group of 3.
You just that sentence was wow. Did you mean to say get used to the idea?
What did I say?
Used to get to the idea.
Yeah, I what? I did have to get used to the idea.
That was so funny.
Did I say it right now?
Yeah, that was
okay. Perfect. Because I also have a group of like we're a group of 3 friends that we've known each other since birth, and when I saw like they posted a photo or video something that they were together, like it stung a little, but at the same time like we used to do that before, like it's nothing new. Like we would hang out only the 2 of us because either the 3rd one didn't want, or we just because we also live in the same village, but like we would like hang out only like the 2 of us sometimes, like it's normal. But I guess like when you're home you're still thinking like technically I could be there,
you have the option.
Exactly, now you don't have the option anymore,
but I think that's what for me makes it less bad
because it's not
it's not like there's nothing in my power, like like they can hang out, I'm here doing my own thing, like I'm in a different country, like they hang out, there's absolutely no possibility of me being there. So like I think that's what makes it less extreme. I thought it would be a lot worse, but I think because I'm so far like disconnected, it's not just that I had a doctor's appointment so I couldn't go and now they're having fun and I'm at the doctor, you know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah.
And in the beginning I was feeling the FOMO a lot when I left home with like our friend group back home, like in my village, because we used to hang out a lot like during COVID and then even after COVID. But that was fine because literally nothing was happening after I left. I realized like I was a lot of the like.
So it did fall apart without you.
Yeah, that one I think honestly, I mean partially, but also because we all went to college, or like I mean the guys were working.
And I mean there are like in groups there are always people who are more like they will make or organize the plans or like take the initiative. So I guess like if one of those people then is missing, it does kind of.
That was I think a lot for me and then like one guy from the like guy's side, quote unquote, and like we would be the two of us like always trying to like make it happen, like me on the girl side, him on the guy's
desperately desperately trying to make it work.
Exactly. And so when I left, that kind of fell apart, and
he was by himself. The poor guy.
I mean, he has a girlfriend now, so he's having his own great time, you know. They don't need us anymore.
Okay.
So I mean, that one was fine, but again, when it happens a lot, like for example the dancing show I'm watching now again, I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast.
I don't think you mentioned it on the podcast yet.
Well,
not this year.
Well, last year I couldn't, because last year it wasn't happening. Sometimes they just don't do it, but usually, the year
before that I think you talked about it a lot.
Really? Maybe.
I think so.
Maybe. So there's this like dancing. It's basically, I think it's Dancing with the Stars and like a Czech version. I've never seen Dancing with the Stars like properly, but I saw some like clips and people talking about it. So I think even like the layout of the space and all that, because somebody said like there are rules on how to do it. Like you can't just adjust it on your own. For example,
like a franchise type of situation. Is
yeah.
Like McDonald's.
The first year, was it? Or maybe there was none. No, last year? I don't remember. I don't remember if there was one last year or not.
You told me no.
Then I guess there was one the first year.
I think so.
And that time, like some like contestants got COVID, and like the one of the hosts got COVID.
I remember that.
And they couldn't like change the rules. They had to literally ask someone who created the show like how they're supposed to,
and they were like I don't know, when I created the show there was no pandemic.
Exactly. And so we would always watch it with my family, like it's a Saturday night thing, and now I just watch it by myself here, and like we send each other photos and videos and we talk about it, but then I see a photo of like my sisters and my mom watching together and me being here and not being able to like talk about it during the show, you know?
Yeah.
So these things, I really...
Sometimes it's the, like, smaller things, I feel like, that cause it more. Like, for me, like, the big traditions, I'm like, well, whatever. But then it's like, I don't know, like, my mom going for dinner with my grandparents. I'm like, I want to be there, too. You know, like, it's the small things are, like, within the household. Like, if I FaceTime my mom and they're like eating dinner and watching Gilmore Girls or what do I know, I'm like, it looks cozy. It looks like I used to be there too, and now I'm like, once I end this FaceTime call, I'll be in my room by myself, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's that kind of stuff.
Or when something happens that's not a tradition, because technically with traditions, if we forget about the fear that I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, like they keep happening.
True.
Whereas like the random things happen once in a while, and then when those happen and I'm not there, like I do miss out on that. I mean, I have a really stupid example, but like some person like from my family, it's not a direct family member, but like a person who is like somehow associated with us, died, and my mom just like sent me a message. And I was just like, what? And I had to like process it on my own, because my whole family, like they got together, they went to the funeral, they went to get like dinner and like kind of celebrate that person. And I wasn't there. And they just sent me photos like them being all together and doing that together. And I was just like here by myself.
Dealing with it.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it wasn't like as hard, because like I said, like it wasn't a family member. It was just like my grandma's kind of boyfriend, not even a boyfriend, it was just like a life partner. But my grandma, like she doesn't even register that anymore because like she has Alzheimer's, so it wasn't like a necessarily close person to me. But I remember like when we were kids and we used to go to her cabin, like he would give us like black and red points, like black ones if we did something quote unquote wrong, and then red ones if we did something nice or good, and we had a whole chart. And so
he was like present in your life.
Yeah, he was present in my childhood. Yeah.
Now, you know, how do I say this? The thing that I am worried about in terms of like FOMO, which is stupid because, I mean, I've done it once and I don't have it that badly, like in connection to Switzerland. But I am worried about next semester. And I think what I'm worried about, no, I know what I'm worried about, is that I'll go to Australia because we're doing our semester abroad. And I'll go to Australia. And I'm worried about like the first... Well, I'm worried about multiple things. I'm worried about either like not finding good friends and spending a lot of time by myself, or at least like in the beginning when you inevitably spend more time by yourself than you normally do, like seeing the messages in the group chat, seeing people here hang out and being like, I could be here. Because I could, like, if I hadn't decided to go abroad, I could be here hanging out like with my friends that I love, but instead of that, I will be by myself in Australia.
But I think what's like important to acknowledge with FOMO, like especially if it concerns your close friends, like remember that it doesn't make you less of a friend of those people. It doesn't mean they're gonna like you less. It's just like they have different experiences and you also have different experiences. Like technically they could be feeling FOMO because you are doing your own thing and they're missing out on that, you know?
That's very true. I guess I'm just worried about my experience being worse. You know, like I'm worried about me being alone in Australia, not having a good time, especially during those first couple of weeks. And then seeing like messages from here, pictures from here, and being like, look at them, they're having a good time. I could be here. Instead, I'm sat by myself in Australia.
That makes a lot of sense because now that I think about it, that's what was like happening to us in the first semester.
It was worse in the beginning, right?
Yeah, because I was here having a horrible time by myself, and it looked like people back home were having a great time without me.
Yeah. So that's what I'm concerned about, because I know that for me it was worse in the beginning because I was suffering here. And so I'm worried about that being the case again in the beginning. Hopefully not the entire time. Hopefully at some point I'll get settled in, but you know, especially in the beginning, it might be hard.
We shouldn't
settle in?
No. I don't think we will have like such... I don't think we'll have a bad time at all.
Don't underestimate me. Do not underestimate.
I mean, yes, you'll be like far away, but technically nothing. I feel like I've been saying a lot of technically this episode, so
just making good
pardon me. But if you think about it, like nothing really changes. You're just further away. Well, yes, you're in a different place. Yes, you'll have new friends. But like we've gained like all of these skills with like coping with things, and like we know that being away isn't the end of the world. Like we can actually have fun. And I mean, it is different in the sense where, you know, it's temporary. You know, you're not going to be there for 4 years, like so far away with no friends. Yeah. So the way I'm thinking about it is like, this is a trip. It's just like 4 or 5 months long, but it's going to be completely different. And I feel like it will be easier because like these programs, there will be people in the same situation in you, and you will be not forced, but like I don't have the word, but like for example Erasmus, like they actually organize events for these people. Like you will meet tens, I always feel weird saying that, but like tens of people. Is that? I don't think people use that.
I think you said like tens of thousands. Like
I know, but it's not that. Just tens of people who are gonna be on Erasmus in that school in that country as well.
I have a welcome day, which is already progress to what we had here.
Exactly. So
I really hope so. Yeah. I really hope so, because I am worried about like the FOMO of that, of like. Because
like missing out on a life here.
Yeah. Like that really scares me.
That's interesting.
But We will see. Okay? I will keep you guys updated on my misery or hopefully lack thereof.
This is getting a little bit farther away from like studying abroad, but do you feel like you're missing out of something specific in life? Like if you look at other people your age?
Oh, that's a great point. That's true. I always feel like I'm missing out on
something.
Honestly, I have that for like my entire life. Like there's so many different lives I would want to live. Like
that's true.
I would love to be like in a big city, like career, like, you know, like that type of stuff. I would like to live on a farm by myself. I would like to have a huge family, but then I would also like to be like independent, focusing on like traveling, like, you know, like and I feel like it's inevitable. You can't do it all in a lifetime. You can't. But it scares me because with every decision you make, you're missing out on like another life. So yeah, completely. And when it comes to like this stage of life, I feel like I am like missing out on a lot of things because like I chose to come here and I chose to go to university. Like a lot of my friends are working, they're working full time. Like they have more stability, like they have a full-time job now, they have that income, so they were able to move out, like move in with their boyfriends maybe. One of my friends, she just bought a horse. Like, you know, like they have like this more of a stable life and are actually able to like build on top of that because they have the resources, which with us, I feel like we're just kind of flying, you know, like not even flying, but just kind of, what's the word? When you're in space.
Levitating?
Sure. Levitating through space and time. So...
Floating?
Floating. We're just kind of here hanging out and floating. So, of course. But I feel like that's inevitable through life. Sometimes it stresses me out, but I try to, like, not let myself spiral. And, you know, things will just happen. The great thing is, like, we have very little control over these things. Like I could be going full on like, oh, I want to like career focus, big city life, and then life would be like, no, I don't think so. I don't think you want that, and it would like, you know, turn into a complete different direction. So that's what I try to calm myself down with is we don't really have any control over it, so just live.
That's true. I love like the way you said it, like wanting to live multiple like different lives, because I do feel like that I don't think that I'm missing out on something. I mean maybe I am a little bit. Like I always wonder like what if I stayed in the Czech Republic and like went to the other school. Like I almost studied midwifery. I think that's what it's called. Like imagine my life, like it would be completely different, because if I think about it, for example, this summer specifically, I met so many people, so many great people and new people, just because of the direction I'm kind of like heading towards right now, like journalism and writing, because I did the internship, I did the summer camps, and I met so many great people and I experienced so many things because of this. And then if you imagine like doing something else, and sometimes I do like almost wish I would be doing something else, but like you said, like we can't do it all.
No, but have you read that book?
Which one?
The one where a woman, like, she dies, or she almost dies, and then, goodness, she lives, like, all of her different lives that she could have had. Midnight Library. People love that book or they hate that book. Me, personally, I loved it, and I read it in, like, 2 days. And that honestly helped me a lot with it. I think it's a very simple concept, and that's kind of what people criticize it for. They're like, ugh, it's just, we've heard it a million times before. But I think I needed to hear it exactly in the way that the author wrote it and presented it to me. This woman is at a very like dark point in her life, and I think she attempts suicide, right?
I think so.
And then she's taken to the hospital, and the entire book basically happens like when she's like in between life and death. They're trying to save her, and she tries out, she's able to live all of her life, like based on like if she stayed with this one guy or she made this career choice and so on and so forth. And really what it comes down to is that every life that she could have lived had good parts and bad parts. None of those lives were perfect. They had good and bad, all of them. Like, in each life, she could have had something that she didn't have in another life, but she also would have lost something very important to her. And that's just, like, calmed me down. Like, that, I know it's so simple, but somehow I'd never thought about it in that way. And that helped me so much with that whole, like, FOMO of missing out on lives that I want to live.
Yeah, I always tell myself, like, things work out the way they are supposed to. And the more I live, the more I'm, like, set in this belief. Like, remember when we talked to Sarah Thompson? Like, the way she's living and, like, when she told us her whole life story, it just worked out perfectly. I mean, not perfectly, but, like I said, the way it's supposed to. And I didn't used to believe that. Or I was like, oh, this is so cheesy, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But I learned to accept it and to truly... Embrace it, yeah.
No, like, the one thing that I always tell myself, like, when I stress out about things is, like, I'm very happy with where I am right now, right? I'm happy with being in Madrid. I'm happy with, like, the life I have. But, like, when I go back, it all leads back to, like, my parents got divorced. Horrible, but it's part of this entire story. My parents got divorced. Then my dad decided to move to Madrid, which was horrible, too. And then, like, so on and so forth. And I would not be here if any of that hadn't happened. I would never in a million years have, like, gone to Madrid. I don't think so. Like, it was never really on my radar. I don't think I mean, until my dad moved there, I'd never even been to Spain. Like, it wasn't really... So, like, it's all connected. If my parents hadn't got divorced, my dad wouldn't have moved to Spain. I wouldn't have moved to Spain. Like, it's all connected. And it all, like, brought me to where I am now. So, that's always what I remind myself of when I'm, like, freaking out.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Especially, like, now when I look back at my, like, childhood and, like, previous years, I connect the things to my life now, and it all makes so much sense. So, like, for example, now I don't know what's going to happen in my future. Honestly, I have no clue what's going to happen 2 years from now. No clue. I don't know where I will live. I don't know what I will be doing, if I'll be studying, if I'll be working or doing something completely different. But I don't stress about it because I know something's going to happen and it's going to make sense and it's going to be what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I feel like what I've learned is, like, when I was done with high school, I was very, like, paranoid about, like, making the next decision because I thought it was, like, make or break. Like, it would, you know, define my entire life. But I've realized that as long as you don't stand still, like, as long as you do make a decision, you're fine. And it's not gonna, like, make or break your life at all. The worst thing you can do is, like, let the fear paralyze you and not make a decision. So we'll just make decisions and we'll continue going.
Because you can always go from that decision. Whatever decision you made, you can still, like, turn it into different directions. Like,
and it might open up more directions.
Exactly. Like, I always was scared of making a decision and that be, like, permanent and terminal and not being able to go, like, back from that. But we're not going back. Like, you can still move forward in, like I said, many different directions. Like, it doesn't mean that if I go to Spain now, I can do this and this because of this, you know? So
exactly.
That was not a great ending to that sentence.
No, it was great.
I didn't want to repeat the word decision again, but then I just said this 3 times. I didn't make it better, but that's fine.
No, that was great.
We're moving forward from now on, so.
Book Club!
Have you been reading?
Why did I think you were starting to sing happy birthday?
What I had in my head was, have you met Ted?
Huh?
You know, it's from How I Met Your Mother. You've never seen it. Well, never mind. So, have you read anything?
You know, yesterday when I was recording the solo episode, I had to say the book club part by myself, and it was the saddest thing.
Did you sing it?
I said, book club.
I have to listen to that one when it comes out.
Well, I haven't edited it yet. Anyway, I have not been reading. No, I think I haven't read a single page.
I've been doing really poorly. I finished the Spot of Bother, and then I borrowed, what is it called?
El Príncipe But what
in
prince?
English?
Oh,
Little Prince? No.
The Little Prince.
Really?
I think so.
Have I never said it in English? Like, I know it in Czech, I know it in Spanish, but for some reason in English it sounds weird. The Little Prince?
The Little Prince.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I borrowed that from my friend, from Laura, in Spanish, because I was like, it's time for a Spanish book, but I want to eat something, not eat. I want to read
I too want to
something easy, and ideally even something short, just so I can like see if I got better, if I can do it, you know. And I read like 36 pages, which is like half of the book already.
Not bad.
But somehow I haven't gotten back to like reading, because I would probably read it in one sitting, and I just want to like read and finish it so I can like move on.
I'm doing really poorly. I also don't have a lot of time.
I think what's also stressing me out is the book commentary we have to do for two classes.
Don't even.
So like I'm thinking, once I finish The Little Prince, like I wanted to read another book, but technically
I think we
maybe
need to
I
focus
shouldn't.
on I mean, I think I'll still keep like I'm reading 3 books at the moment anyway, so I'll just, like have a fun one on the side to balance it out. But yeah. Book club's interesting at the moment, you know?
No, I haven't been reading really. Yeah. But what did I watch? Oh, you know what I watched? I watched the show Beckham on Netflix.
Interesting. I feel like I've watched it because it was just thrown at me on TikTok and Instagram. Yeah.
When like one of my mom's friends mentioned it when we were in Portugal, and she doesn't watch football or anything, but she watched it with her partner, I think, and she said it was quite interesting.
People liked it, yeah.
And I mean
it was propaganda, no?
I don't know. I loved it. Like,
but did you love them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I think it was marketing at its best, but
Probably.
It looks amazing from what I've seen.
And the thing is, I've never been a fan of football. I've never been a fan of footballers
or the Spice Girls. Like, I don't
know.
That was before
I didn't even know his wife is from Spice Girls. I didn't know anything. So, I mean, the thing is, I don't know a lot about Spice Girls. I've never listened to them.
No, that's the thing. I think they were like before my time. Like, it was like their peak was in the early 90s, mid 90s.
Yeah, something like that.
That might be very wrong. Oh, they were founded in 1994. Oh, okay, so their peak was probably not in the early 90s. I apologize.
But I mean,
but still, before my time.
Yeah. And what was I going to say? Oh, that I wanted to mention that I've been loving sport, like documentaries lately, because I watched The Quarterback, and I don't know, for some reason, like, even if I don't follow the sport, if there's like a documentary around it, I love it. Same with in the first year, right when I arrived and my sister was here with me, we watched some like high school American football thing. It was just following like these teenagers playing football, like the most random thing, and I loved it.
What's it called?
I can't remember,
because my dad watched something like that,
but it was some,
and he was obsessed.
High school, and it was like following their private lives, and then also like them playing.
That might be the same thing. My dad wouldn't stop talking about it for like 3 months.
I feel like
I didn't watch it.
Must have been named based on either the city they were in or the high school.
I'll ask him today, and I'll let you know. That would be wild.
But it was like following 15-year-olds or something, so it just surprises me.
Oh, high school. Maybe his was university, but it was like.
Well, just ask. I don't know. Okay. So I didn't even like follow David Beckham or Victoria Beckham before, but now I'm just like, I love them. And this morning I did see like a quote unquote news message that like some British diary or like newspaper like hated on it or something, that it's like full of lies or something. Apparently,
I don't think it's full of lies. I don't think they lied. They like the cheating, they never really addressed it. Like, they just kind of.
I was thinking it probably must have happened because they never denied it, and if it didn't happen, they would deny it.
Exactly.
They would be like, no, this never happened. Like the newspapers, like,
it for sure happened.
But I mean, it's there. I mean, I understand they don't want to like talk about it in detail to the whole world, and where like their kids can watch
I think I would have just ignoring
you probably
it too.
don't even tell these things to your kids and like the specifics.
Yeah.
And so then that you would have to talk about it to your kids before streaming it to the world. I don't know.
Well, the issue is now they have the other woman going to the press.
What woman? Oh,
the one he had the affair with.
Oh, interesting.
But
well, I never knew anything about that.
Me neither. Now I just know and I didn't even watch it, and I know so much.
It was nice.
Sounds good.
I liked it.
Yeah, the thing is, I can love most documentaries. Like,
yeah,
I love it all.
I think it's just because like it connects you to the people so much because it is like emotionally.
Oh, I did watch something. I watched the Taylor Swift documentary.
Oh, I thought you talked about it in the last episode.
No, I didn't talk about anything, like, because I wanted the other people to give their recommendation.
Okay.
No, I didn't. I'm sorry. I was just briefly. I'd never seen it before, the Miss Americana one. And
oh, you watched that one?
Yeah.
Wait, but that's something else than the Eras Tour thing.
Oh, the Eras Tour I had talked about. Yeah. The Eras Tour I talked about. No.
But the Miss Americana thingy, it's not new, right?
No, it's really old. It's from like 2020, 2019.
Something like that.
But I just never watched it. So Laura and Paula, like, they wanted me to watch it. So we watched it when we were making the friendship bracelets for the concert. And also just obsessed. It was amazing. Like, I didn't know a lot of things. It was a really good documentary.
I was considering watching that.
You should. You should.
Just so I'm, like, educated on this. Because, my mom, it was hilarious. My mom came to me the other day, and she was like, I don't know how we mentioned Taylor Swift, but somehow it just came up. Oh, it was we were going through Netflix and choosing what to watch. And there it was. Oh. And she was like, oh, Taylor Swift, like, it's kind of big. Like, the kids in school talk about it. Like apparently it's a big thing now. And I'm like...
Christina's like, not you too. I escaped to Portugal.
I was like, I know, Mom, but I'm not one of them.
I really like that documentary. And it's the thing, like, it really, like, with Taylor Swift specifically, I feel like she's very, like, curated about, like, what you know about her. Like, like, she not used to be like that, but I think she's learned to, like, if she wants something to leak, it'll leak. If she doesn't want something to leak, it won't leak. So with documentaries like this, like, you just get like more. And it was really interesting because at one point she thought she was in her late 20s and she was like, oh, these are my last couple of successful years because like when I'm 30, like,
how old
for
is she
an artist, like, now she's 34, 33.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
and she was
God.
like, these are my last couple of successful years, as soon as you turn 30, it's kind of done. And I was like, if she knew, like, she's in her 30s now, this is the most successful she's ever been. That's not what I wanted to say, but that was very interesting. Yeah,
we watched 2 or 3 movies in Portugal because when we were in Lisbon it was raining, so that day we went home early to watch a movie, drink wine, and we watched something with Reese Witherspoon and what's his name, Mila Kunis' husband, Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah,
I never know how to pronounce his last name. It's a new movie. It was fun. Nothing special. It was
like
fun.
rom-com type of situation.
And then my mom and one of the friends, they went to the city. I was tired. I was also sick, so I wanted to stay in. So with the other friends, we watched Burlesque, and I love that movie. I watched it 1,000 times. It's with Christina Aguilera and Cher. It's amazing, and it's on Netflix. So convenient, and I just love it. I know all the songs. My mom's friend was like, oh, you know all the songs. Like, I was singing the whole time. I was like, yes, I love it.
It's like, there's like the popular like Christina Aguilera songs and everything right in there?
No, like, it's a movie. It's like fictional movie.
Okay.
But it is about like a singer moving from some small city into... Where did she move? New York? No.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
A bigger town.
Yeah. And then she like discovered this club, Burlesque. What is it called? I don't think the Burlesque is a name for these. It's like girls performing, and it is kind of like sexy and
I mean, they are burlesque dancers, no?
Okay, so it is a thing.
I think so.
Okay. So then she like wants to be a part of it. She wants to sing, blah blah blah. There's just a romance. So it's like fictional, but there's songs, and she sings incredibly. Cher also sings incredibly, and it's just the perfect movie.
That sounds good.
I love it. Yeah. So let's do Song of the Week.
Yes. So my Song of the Week won't surprise anybody. It's because 1989 Taylor's version came out on Friday. And I'm obsessed with all of the Vault songs. Like, I feel like this is the first album where I really love, like, every single... Have you listened to them?
No.
Oh, you were so like, yes. I appreciate the,
Maybe I will, just again to, like, know stuff.
Yeah, and these ones I really love. Like, with the other ones, I had, like, a couple that I was really obsessed with. Like, I like Timeless on Red and stuff like that. But this one, I love all of them. Specifically, Is It Over Now? I think that's my favorite at the moment. I also love, like, a lot of them have, like, a very, like, happy melody. And then the lyrics are just, like, I'll be, like, dancing around on my way to the train station. But the lyrics are just heartbreaking.
But
I love it.
The songs she re-releases as her versions, do they really differ? Or is it just because she wanted to re-record it so she owns it?
No, it depends. I feel like there aren't big differences, but if you listen to them like side by side, or if you know the other songs really well, you will notice like differences. Like with this one, I feel like the biggest difference is that like her vocals are quite different. They're usually like more present, whereas in the other album they were more like in the background. So there's like small differences in production, I'd say. Like production is a bit different.
But like lyrics wise
normally the same.
Okay.
Sometimes if there was like there's one song where one lyric was kind of like offensive. Well, when it was released in 2008 or whatever, it wasn't offensive yet, but like you couldn't say no, so she changed that. But normally, like, there's no big changes. And then the Vault tracks are all new ones, that she hadn't released.
That I heard about. So my song is called Mistake from NF. Because I just I will connect this to jewelry. Because this morning, my sister, remember when she bought us the earrings, the ones I brought you, the butterflies? We, remembered that, we talked about it, and she was asking me if I'm wearing the ones I bought, and I was like, if I wear, some earrings or some rings, I have, phases or stages where I wear these specific ones for a long time, then I put them away and wear other ones. I can't go every day and changing them.
Yeah, same.
So with the music, this happens to me with artists. I would be obsessed with a couple of artists. I would listen to them a lot, mainly one at a time.
Interesting.
And then they get quote unquote forgotten about, and then I remember again. I'm like, I love them so much, but it's just there's so much music out there, and I love so many artists that it's hard to listen to all of them on a daily basis. Mostly I listen to just random songs that I discover and then save.
I was gonna say that's kind of what happens. My playlist of the month.
Yeah. But then, I remember, specific artists, and that happened to me with NF. I love him. I've been listening to him from when I was 14, and then I rediscovered the music. And this song, I don't know how, because I thought I listened to his newest album, the whole thing, but this song I didn't hear, and it's great.
It does make me really sad.
Yeah, he does put you in a specific mood.
But other than that, amazing.
So thanks for listening.
Thanks for joining in. If you have any FOMO experiences, as always, please let us know.
There's the question in Spotify. I will mention it every episode from now on. If you open the episode on Spotify, you will see there's a question for you. So you can answer our question there.
Please answer.
We would love it. So please do that. And you can also reach out to us on our Instagram, TikTok, wherever.
Yeah.
And please give us a review wherever you're listening. And that's it.
That's it from us. Have a nice
week.
Well, that's a difficult thing. Night, whatever you're doing right now, okay? Just have a good time.
Yes, and see you next
Bye.
week. Bye.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode.
If you want to get in touch, you can find all of our information in the description below.